Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you this: how much time have you wasted today? Now, I'm not talking about time you needed for rest or time spent with family. I'm talking about the moments you know were wasted scrolling through social media, putting off what you knew needed to be done. How much time have you thrown away waiting for tomorrow to be the day you get serious? See, the truth is, time is a currency you can never get back. Every second that ticks away is gone forever. And here's the thing, there's no refund policy on time. You cannot press pause. You cannot rewind. So why, knowing that, do so many of us choose to waste the one resource we can never get more of? Stop wasting time doing things that don't push you forward. It's so easy to get caught up in the noise. Everyone has an opinion. Everyone wants to tell you how to live your life. But at the end of the day, you are the one responsible for where your time goes. Don't wait for someone else to light your fire. You've got to fan that flame within yourself. You keep telling yourself, I'll start tomorrow. I'll get to it eventually. Well, let me tell you something, tomorrow is never guaranteed. The perfect moment is a myth. Every day you delay, you're giving away a piece of your future. Because today's decisions shape tomorrow's reality. Focusing on priorities is a fundamental aspect of achieving success in any area of life. In today's fast-paced world, where distractions abound, understanding what truly matters and channeling our energy toward those goals is not only important but necessary. However, identifying our priorities requires introspection, clarity, and a deep understanding of our personal and professional objectives. Without this clarity, it's easy to become overwhelmed by the sheer volume of tasks, obligations, and opportunities presented to us on a daily basis. The ability to focus on priorities then becomes the skill that separates those who merely stay busy from those who are genuinely productive and moving toward their goals. The first step in focusing on priorities is recognizing the difference between what is urgent and what is important. Many people spend their days responding to urgent matters, emails, phone calls, last-minute requests, thinking they are making progress, when in reality, they are merely reacting to the demands of others. Urgent tasks often feel like they need immediate attention, but they may not contribute to long-term goals. Important tasks, on the other hand, are those that move you closer to your core objectives. These are the things that matter most in the grand scheme of your life, but they often get pushed aside because they don't always feel immediate. The challenge comes when we allow the urgent to dominate our time at the expense of the important. For example, answering every email as soon as it arrives may seem productive, but if it prevents you from working on a major project that could significantly advance your career, then you are not effectively prioritizing. Understanding this distinction requires a shift in mindset from seeing productivity as merely getting things done to seeing it as getting the right things done. This shift is crucial for anyone who wants to make meaningful progress in life. Once you understand the difference between urgent and important, the next step is to clarify your long-term goals. What are the things that truly matter to you? What do you want to achieve in the next 5, 10, or 20 years? These are not always easy questions to answer, but they are necessary for defining your priorities. Without a clear sense of your goals, you will continue to be pulled in a million different directions, responding to whatever seems most pressing in the moment. Clarifying your goals allows you to create a roadmap for your life, ensuring that your daily activities are aligned with your larger ambitions. Having established clear goals, it's important to break them down into actionable steps. Long-term goals can feel overwhelming, but when you divide them into smaller, manageable tasks, they become much easier to achieve. This process of breaking down big goals into smaller ones is essential for maintaining focus. When you have a clear sense of what needs to be done today, this week, and this month, you're less likely to get sidetracked by distractions. Every action you take should be directly linked to moving you closer to your ultimate objective. This level of focus ensures that your time and energy are spent on what truly matters. Distractions, both external and internal, are one of the biggest challenges to maintaining focus on priorities. External distractions can come in the form of social media, unimportant meetings, or the demands of others. Internal distractions, however, can be even more detrimental. These include self-doubt, procrastination, and a lack of confidence in your ability to achieve your goals. To overcome distractions, it's essential to develop strong time management skills. One effective strategy is time blocking, setting aside specific blocks of time for focused work on your most important tasks. This practice not only helps you avoid distractions, but also creates a sense of urgency around completing your tasks within the allotted time. Maintaining focus on priorities requires the ability to say no. This can be difficult, especially in a culture that often equates busyness with success. However, saying no to distractions, whether they come in the form of unnecessary meetings, social obligations, or even opportunities that don't align with your goals, is essential. Every time you say yes to something that is not a priority, you are saying no to something that is. It's important to recognize that your time is finite, and you cannot do everything. By learning to say no, you create space for what truly matters. Many people fall into the trap of thinking they need to do everything themselves in order to ensure it's done correctly. This mindset not only leads to burnout, but also prevents you from dedicating enough time to your most important tasks. Delegation allows you to focus on the areas where you can make the most impact, while trusting others to handle tasks that are not central to your goals. Effective delegation requires strong communication and trust, but when done correctly, it can significantly increase your productivity and allow you to focus on what matters most. It's important to regularly review and reassess your priorities. Life is dynamic, and what may have been a top priority 6 months ago may no longer be relevant today. Regularly checking in with yourself to evaluate your goals and ensure that your daily activities are still aligned with your long-term objectives is crucial for maintaining focus. This process of reassessment allows you to make adjustments as needed, ensuring that you are always moving in the right direction. Taking responsibility for time management is one of the most empowering yet challenging aspects of personal development. Time, being a finite resource, demands careful attention and discipline. However, many people struggle with this, often finding themselves feeling overwhelmed, busy, or even stuck in a cycle of procrastination. The truth is, how you spend your time is a direct reflection of your choices. Taking responsibility for it means accepting that you are in control of how you allocate this precious resource. While external circumstances may influence your day, ultimately it is your decisions and habits that determine how effectively you manage your time. One of the first steps in taking responsibility for time management is acknowledging that excuses are the enemy of progress. It's easy to blame external factors, lack of time, too many responsibilities, or unforeseen events for why certain tasks aren't completed. However, when you rely on excuses, you relinquish control over your life. Instead of taking action, you allow circumstances to dictate your outcomes. This mindset keeps you in a reactive state, where you are constantly responding to situations rather than proactively shaping your day. Taking responsibility means recognizing that while you may not have control over everything, you do have control over how you respond and how you prioritize your time. This leads to the concept of ownership. When you take ownership of your time, you stop waiting for perfect conditions to arise before you start making progress. Too often, people fall into the trap of waiting for the right moment, the right tools, or the right motivation before they take action. But if you wait for perfect conditions, you may end up waiting forever. Ownership means understanding that you can begin where you are with what you have, and that progress comes from consistent, intentional effort. By taking ownership, you become accountable for your time and the results that come from how you use it. Accountability is another key component of taking responsibility for time management. Many people set goals but fail to create systems that hold them accountable for achieving those goals. This is why accountability partners, mentors, or even tracking systems can be highly effective. When you know that someone or something is monitoring your progress, you are more likely to follow through on your commitments. Accountability forces you to be honest with yourself about how you are spending your time and whether or not you are taking the necessary actions to reach your goals. Without this level of transparency, it's easy to let time slip by without realizing how much of it is being wasted. Self-discipline is the ability to make decisions that are aligned with your long-term goals, even when it's difficult. It's what helps you say no to distractions and yes to tasks that may not be enjoyable but are necessary. Many people struggle with time management because they allow their immediate desires to override their long-term goals. For example, scrolling through social media may offer instant gratification, but it does nothing to help you accomplish your bigger objectives. Self-discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be, and it requires you to consistently make decisions that prioritize progress over pleasure. One of the most powerful tools in time management is the ability to set boundaries. When you take responsibility for your time, you recognize that not everything and everyone deserves your attention. It's easy to say yes to every request or opportunity that comes your way, but this often leads to a lack of focus and burnout. Setting boundaries means understanding what truly matters to you and being willing to say no to things that don't align with your goals. This is especially important in a world where constant connectivity and the demands of others can easily consume your time. Learning to set boundaries allows you to protect your time and energy, ensuring that they are spent on what truly matters. Planning is not just about creating a to-do list, it's about strategically organizing your time in a way that allows you to maximize productivity. This involves setting clear goals, breaking them down into actionable steps, and scheduling time for each task. It's important to understand that planning doesn't have to be rigid. In fact, flexibility is a crucial part of effective time management. However, having a plan in place gives you a roadmap for your day, ensuring that you stay focused on your priorities and don't get sidetracked by distractions or less important tasks. Time management also requires you to be realistic about what you can accomplish in a given period. Many people overestimate what they can do in a day and underestimate what they can achieve in a month or year. This often leads to frustration and a sense of failure when goals are not met. By being realistic about your time and setting achievable goals, you create a sense of progress and momentum. This doesn't mean you shouldn't aim high, but it does mean that you need to break large goals into smaller, more manageable tasks. By doing so, you can avoid feeling overwhelmed and ensure that each day contributes to your long-term success. No one is perfect, and there will be days when time is wasted or priorities are neglected. The key is not to dwell on these moments, but to learn from them. Reflecting on where you went wrong and making adjustments for the future is essential to improving your time management skills. This process of self-assessment allows you to identify patterns of behavior that are holding you back and develop strategies to overcome them. It's important to approach this with a growth mindset, understanding that every misstep is an opportunity to learn and grow. Taking responsibility for time management means understanding that it is an ongoing process. It's not something you master once and then never have to think about again. Life is constantly changing, and so too are your responsibilities, goals, and priorities. This requires you to regularly reassess how you are spending your time and make adjustments as needed. By staying flexible and committed to continuous improvement, you can ensure that you are always using your time in a way that aligns with your goals and values. Taking responsibility for your time is about more than just being busy, it's about being intentional. It requires a deep level of self-awareness, discipline, and accountability. When you take control of your time, you take control of your time. You take control of your life. You stop being a passenger and start being the driver, making conscious choices that move you towards your goals rather than drifting aimlessly through the demands of each day. Overcoming procrastination is a crucial skill for anyone who wants to achieve success and make the most of their time. Procrastination, the act of delaying tasks despite knowing the negative consequences, is a common challenge that affects people from all walks of life. It's not just about putting off work, but also about allowing fear, self-doubt, or lack of discipline to prevent you from taking action. Breaking free from this cycle requires both a shift in mindset and the implementation of practical strategies that encourage consistent action and productivity. One of the main reasons people procrastinate is fear of failure, fear of making mistakes, or even fear of success. When faced with a task that feels overwhelming or has high stakes, it's easy to avoid starting, thinking that delay will somehow make the task easier to handle later. However, this often leads to even greater anxiety as deadlines approach or the task becomes more urgent. To overcome procrastination, it's essential to confront these fears head-on. Instead of thinking about what could go wrong, focus on the benefits of completing the task. Shifting your mindset from fear to opportunity can be a powerful motivator, turning dread into excitement about what you can accomplish. Breaking tasks into smaller, manageable steps is another key strategy in overcoming procrastination. Often, people delay tasks because they seem too big or too complex. When you're faced with a large project, it's easy to feel overwhelmed and unsure where to start, which leads to avoidance. By breaking the task down into smaller, more achievable steps, you make the process more approachable. Each step completed provides a sense of accomplishment, which builds momentum and makes it easier to keep going. This method not only helps you get started, but also keeps you on track, ensuring that the work gets done without the stress of having to tackle everything at once. Many people delay starting tasks because they fear they won't do them perfectly. They get caught up in the idea that every step of the process must be flawless. which leads to paralysis. The key to overcoming perfectionism is understanding that progress is more important than perfection. In many cases, getting something done, even if it's not perfect, allows for further refinement and improvement down the road. The pursuit of perfection can become a major obstacle to productivity if you allow it to prevent you from taking the first step. Learning to accept that mistakes are part of the process and that revisions can always be made later helps to break the cycle of procrastination rooted in perfectionism. Time management plays a significant role in overcoming procrastination. Poor time management often leads to tasks being delayed, not because they are difficult, but because they are not given the proper attention or planning. A good time management system can help combat procrastination by scheduling specific blocks of time to focus on important tasks. When you dedicate a certain amount of time to work on a task, it removes the ambiguity about when you will start, and it also prevents other activities from intruding on that time. Techniques such as time blocking, where you assign fixed periods for deep work, help you stay committed and focused on what needs to be done. One of the most effective techniques to overcome procrastination is the 2-minute rule. The concept is simple. If a task can be done in 2 minutes or less, do it immediately. This eliminates the tendency to put off small tasks that can quickly pile up and become overwhelming. Once these smaller tasks are handled, they no longer occupy mental space, allowing you to focus on larger, more important work without distraction. The 2-minute rule not only helps you stay on top of small tasks, but also builds a habit of taking immediate action, which can be applied to larger projects as well. A major component of procrastination is the constant search for distractions. In today's digital age, distractions are everywhere: social media, emails, notifications, and countless other digital interruptions. To overcome procrastination, it's necessary to create an environment that minimizes distractions. This might mean turning off notifications, setting specific times to check emails, or even using productivity apps that block distracting websites during work periods. When you eliminate distractions, you reduce the number of excuses you have for delaying work. A focused environment makes it easier to dive into tasks and maintain concentration, thereby reducing the urge to procrastinate. Self-discipline is at the heart of overcoming procrastination. Many people procrastinate because they allow short-term pleasures like watching television, browsing the internet, or socializing to take precedence over long-term goals. Self-discipline requires the ability to delay gratification and prioritize tasks that may not offer immediate rewards but are essential for long-term success. Developing self-discipline involves creating habits that support productivity, such as setting daily goals, sticking to routines, and rewarding yourself for completing important tasks. The more you practice self-discipline, the less you'll rely on external motivation to get things done. People often delay tasks because they feel tired, mentally drained, or simply unmotivated. Understanding when you are at your most productive, whether it's in the morning, afternoon, or evening, can help you align your most important tasks with those peak energy times. Additionally, taking care of your physical and mental health through proper sleep, exercise, and nutrition can have a significant impact on your ability to focus and stay on task. When you manage your energy well, you are less likely to procrastinate because you have the physical and mental stamina needed to tackle challenging tasks. Setting clear deadlines is another powerful tool in combating procrastination. Without a deadline, tasks can feel open-ended, making it easy to keep pushing them off. Even self-imposed deadlines can create a sense of urgency that motivates action. If the task itself does not come with a strict deadline, create one for yourself. Share your deadline with someone else, such as a colleague, friend, or accountability partner, to ensure you stick to it. Knowing that someone else is aware of your goal can provide extra motivation to meet your deadline and avoid procrastination. Rewarding yourself for progress can help reinforce positive behavior and diminish procrastination. While procrastination often stems from a desire to avoid discomfort, offering yourself a reward for completing a task creates an incentive to get it done. This could be something small, like taking a break, enjoying a favorite snack, or spending time on a leisure activity. The key is to tie the reward to completing a meaningful task so that your brain begins to associate productivity with positive outcomes. Over time, this practice helps to rewire your mindset, making it easier to start and finish tasks without delay. Overcoming procrastination is not just about forcing yourself to work, it's about understanding the underlying reasons why you procrastinate and addressing them with effective strategies. By confronting fear, breaking down tasks, managing time and energy, and practicing self-discipline, you can develop the habits necessary to overcome procrastination and make consistent progress toward your goals. Discipline is a cornerstone of success, and learning to say no to distractions is a critical component of cultivating that discipline. In today's world, distractions are everywhere. Whether it's social media, emails, text messages, or even well-meaning friends and family, there are constant demands on our attention. Learning to say no to these distractions is essential for staying focused on your priorities and goals. Without the ability to manage distractions, you will find it difficult to accomplish meaningful work, as your attention will be continually pulled away from what truly matters. The ability to say no to distractions starts with understanding the importance of focus. Focus is the act of directing your attention toward a specific task or goal without letting external factors interfere. When you're focused, you can work more efficiently, produce higher quality work, and accomplish tasks in a shorter amount of time. However, achieving focus requires deliberate effort, especially in a world filled with constant interruptions. One of the most important things you can do to improve your focus is to eliminate or reduce the distractions around you. This means being proactive about your environment, your mindset, and your habits. One of the most common sources of distraction today is technology, particularly smartphones and social media. While technology offers many benefits, it also poses a significant challenge to maintaining focus. Notifications, alerts, and the constant temptation to check social media can easily disrupt your concentration, even if only for a few seconds. To combat this, you need to create boundaries with your technology. This might involve turning off non-essential notifications, using apps that limit your time on social media, or setting specific times during the day to check emails and messages. By controlling your access to distractions, you create an environment that is more conducive to deep work and sustained focus. People can also be a major source of distraction. Well-meaning friends, family, and colleagues may not realize that their interruptions are pulling you away from important tasks. To say no to these types of distractions, you need to set clear boundaries with those around you. This might involve letting people know when you are working and should not be disturbed, or setting specific times for socializing and collaboration. By communicating your boundaries clearly, you ensure that others respect your need for focus, while also managing their expectations of your availability. It's important to remember that saying no to distractions is not about being rude or unapproachable, but about prioritizing your time and energy toward what truly matters. These are the thoughts, worries, or urges that arise within you and pull your attention away from the task at hand. Internal distractions can be just as disruptive as external ones, if not more so. For example, you might find yourself daydreaming about future plans or worrying about unrelated issues while trying to work. To manage internal distractions, mindfulness and self-awareness are essential. By practicing mindfulness, you can train your mind to stay present and focused on the task at hand. When internal distractions arise, you can acknowledge them without letting them derail your focus, and then gently guide your attention back to the work you're doing. Time management plays a crucial role in minimizing distractions and staying disciplined. When you have a clear plan for how you will spend your time, it becomes easier to stay focused and avoid distractions. Time blocking is an effective strategy for this. By setting aside specific blocks of time for focused work, you create a sense of urgency and purpose around your tasks. During these time blocks, eliminate distractions by turning off notifications, closing unnecessary tabs or applications, and letting others know that you are not available. The key to effective time blocking is sticking to the schedule you set for yourself and resisting the temptation to deviate from it. Saying no to distractions also requires a deep understanding of your priorities. When you have a clear sense of what your most important goals are, it becomes easier to recognize when something is a distraction. Many distractions present themselves as opportunities, whether it's an unexpected meeting, a new project, or social invitation. However, if these opportunities do not align with your core priorities, they are distractions in disguise. By regularly reviewing your goals and staying aligned with them, you can confidently say no to anything that does not support your larger vision. This doesn't mean you should never be flexible or take advantage of unexpected opportunities, but you should always weigh the potential benefits against your existing commitments. Developing the discipline to say no to distractions also involves cultivating a strong sense of self-control. Self-control is the ability to resist immediate gratification in favor of long-term rewards. Many distractions offer instant pleasure or relief from the discomfort of hard work, which is why they are so tempting. However, giving in to these distractions ultimately delays your progress towards your goals. Strengthening your self-control requires practice and consistency. One way to do this is by setting small, achievable goals that require you to delay gratification. For example, you might commit to working for a set period without checking your phone, and then reward yourself with a break afterward. Over time, these small acts of self-control will build up and make it easier to resist distractions in the future. This could involve setting up your workspace in a specific way, starting your day with a particular task, or using a consistent time and place for focused work. By creating a routine, you reduce the mental effort required to start working and minimize the likelihood of being distracted. A routine also helps establish a sense of consistency and discipline, which are crucial for long-term success. It's also important to recognize that saying no to distractions doesn't mean eliminating all forms of relaxation or leisure from your life. In fact, taking regular breaks and allowing time for rest is essential for maintaining focus and productivity in the long run. However, the key is to be intentional about how you use your breaks and leisure time. Instead of allowing distractions to pull you away from your work randomly throughout the day, schedule specific times for relaxation or socializing. This way, you can enjoy these activities without feeling guilty or stressed about unfinished tasks, and you'll be more focused when it's time to work. Saying no to distractions requires both mental and physical discipline. It's not just about removing external factors that interrupt your focus, but also about training your mind to stay committed to the task at hand. This level of discipline takes time to develop, but with consistent effort, you can create an environment and mindset that supports sustained focus and productivity. By mastering the art of saying no to distractions, you can take control of your time, improve your work quality, and make meaningful progress toward your goals. Setting clear goals is a fundamental practice for achieving success and making effective use of your time. Goals provide direction and purpose, serving as a roadmap that guides your actions and decisions. Without clearly defined goals, you may find yourself drifting through tasks without a sense of accomplishment or purpose. By establishing specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound SMART goals, you create a framework that not only clarifies your intentions but also enhances your motivation and focus. The first step in setting clear goals is to ensure they are specific. Vague goals like "I want to be successful" or "I want to be fit" are open to interpretation and lack clarity. Specific goals answer the questions of who, what, where, when, and why. For example, instead of saying "I want to be fit," a more specific goal would be "I want to run a 5K in 3 months." This specificity not only provides a clear target, but also allows you to visualize your goal, making it easier to create actionable steps toward achieving it. Specificity removes ambiguity and helps you focus your efforts on what truly matters. Your goals should be measurable. Having a measurable goal allows you to track your progress and determine when you have achieved it. This is essential for maintaining motivation and accountability. For instance, if your goal is to save money, specifying the amount you want to save by a certain date makes it measurable. Instead of saying "I want to save money," you could say "I want to save $5,000 for a vacation by next December." This measurable aspect gives you a clear benchmark to work toward, and tracking your progress along the way can provide positive reinforcement as you see yourself getting closer to your goal. Achievability is another critical factor in goal setting. While it's important to aim high, setting unrealistic goals can lead to frustration and demotivation. When you establish goals, consider whether they are realistic based on your current circumstances, resources, and abilities. An achievable goal takes into account the potential challenges you may face and the time and effort required to reach it. For example, if you are new to running, setting a goal to complete a marathon in a month might be unrealistic. Instead, an achievable goal would be to complete a 5K first and then work your way up to longer distances over time. Balancing ambition with realism is key to sustaining motivation and progress. Relevance is another vital aspect of effective goal setting. Your goals should align with your values and long-term objectives. When your goals are relevant, you are more likely to stay motivated and committed to achieving them. This alignment ensures that the effort you put into reaching your goals contributes to your overall life vision. For instance, if your long-term aspiration is to become a professional writer, setting a goal to complete a certain number of pages or articles each week is relevant and supports your overarching ambition. When your goals resonate with your values and passions, they become more meaningful, increasing your motivation to pursue them. Time-bound goals create a sense of urgency and help you prioritize your tasks effectively. Setting a deadline for your goals provides a clear time frame for completion, encouraging you to take action. Without a deadline, it's easy to procrastinate or lose focus, as there's no sense of urgency driving your efforts. A time-bound goal might be to write a book by the end of the year. This specificity not only gives you a deadline, but also helps you break the task down into smaller, manageable milestones. For example, you can set monthly or weekly targets for writing chapters, ensuring that you stay on track to meet your ultimate goal. Once you have set clear, smart goals, it's essential to develop an action plan that outlines the steps required to achieve them. This action plan serves as a roadmap, breaking down your goals into smaller, actionable tasks that can be tackled on a daily or weekly basis. For instance, if your goal is to save money for a vacation, your action plan might include creating a budget, cutting unnecessary expenses, and setting up a separate savings account. By mapping out the necessary steps, you make it easier to stay focused and organized as you work toward your goals. Regularly reviewing and revising your goals is also a critical aspect of the goal-setting process. Life is dynamic and circumstances can change, affecting your priorities and aspirations. Periodically assessing your goals allows you to determine if they still align with your current values and ambitions. If you find that certain goals are no longer relevant or achievable, don't hesitate to adjust them. Flexibility in your approach to goal setting ensures that you remain engaged and motivated as you are working towards something that truly matters to you. Accountability can enhance your goal setting efforts significantly. Sharing your goals with others, whether friends, family, or colleagues, creates a support system that encourages you to stay committed. When you express your intentions to others, you are more likely to hold yourself accountable for following through. This sense of accountability can be further amplified by finding an accountability partner or joining a group with similar aspirations. Regular check-ins and progress updates can provide motivation and encouragement as you celebrate each other's achievements and navigate challenges together. Visualization is another powerful tool that can enhance your goal-setting process. Taking time to visualize your goals and the steps you will take to achieve them helps to reinforce your commitment and motivation. Visualization can be as simple as picturing yourself reaching your goal or creating a vision board filled with images and words that inspire you. Engaging in this practice allows you to mentally rehearse your success, making the goal feel more attainable and enhancing your determination to work toward it. Setting clear goals also allows you to develop essential time management skills. When you have specific objectives in mind, it becomes easier to prioritize your tasks and allocate your time effectively. Goals serve as a guiding framework, helping you determine which tasks are most important and which can wait. By focusing on high priority goals, you can avoid the trap of becoming overwhelmed by less significant tasks. This prioritization helps you use your time more effectively and ensures that you are consistently working toward your desired outcomes. Celebrating your achievements along the way is vital for maintaining motivation and commitment to your goals. Recognizing and rewarding yourself for reaching milestones, no matter how small, reinforces positive behavior and creates a sense of accomplishment. Celebrations can take various forms, from treating yourself to a favorite meal to taking a break or indulging in a leisure activity. These moments of recognition not only boost your morale but also serve as reminders of your progress, fueling your determination to continue working toward your ultimate goals.